In this video, we're going to look at some of the ways that teachers can raise learner awareness of patterns. We want learners to be able to notice patterns when they read and listen, to recognise those patterns even when the form is altered, and to form the link between pattern and meaning. If you look at the screen, you'll see a passage that you might use with learners as a comprehension exercise or as a prompt for writing about animal safety. But we can ask learners also to look at this from the point of view of the patterns that are used. So we would ask them to see that specialise is followed by in, that rescue is followed by a noun phrase and then from, and protect is followed by a noun phrase and then from. We want them to see that asked is followed by for, respond is followed by to, deal is followed by with, and cope is also followed by with. So what sorts of things might help learners to recognise not just these patterns, but the meanings that they generally have? One of the things we can do is to give learners another set of sentences that have the same pattern. For example, Mac had trained in anthropology, freed the couple from the wreckage, contend with gale force winds. If you look at the screen, you'll see a whole set of sentences like this. What we ask the learners to do is to write in the sentences that match the given sentences. So if we give them specialise in animal welfare, we want them to write in had trained in anthropology and deals in antiques and fine art, noticing that all of these words are about jobs. We show them from the passage, respond to telephone calls, and they write in from our examples, replied to various other questions, linking together response and replied. We show them deal with complaints, cope with pleas for help, and they will write in contend with gale force winds. And if they haven't come across the word contend before, we can help them to link the meaning of that with deal and cope. In the same way, we give learners rescue pets from dangerous situations and protect an animal from suffering, and they will add free the couple from the wreckage and save the club from going bust. We give them ask inspectors for advice, and they write in begged her father for another loan and pressed him for details of his past. So they're linking together asked, begged and pressed as having similar meanings. In all the examples we've looked at so far, the patterns have occurred in their regular form. But the way that grammar of English works is that sometimes the patterns are not so identifiable. We might have examples like the organisms have evolutionary pressures to contend with, or a situation from which he could have been saved. This is yet another problem to juggle with. Or if you've been asked for an interview. And we might ask the learners to write the more regular form of the pattern. So where it says the organisms have evolutionary pressures to contend with, the learner will write contend with evolutionary pressures. A situation from which he could have been saved becomes save him from a situation. Another problem to juggle with becomes juggle with another problem. And you've been asked for an interview becomes ask you for an interview. More information about grammar patterns is available on this channel, or go to the grammar section of collinsdictionary.com.